Hey, welcome back to Eepa's Kitchen. Today we're going to make a couple real simple sandwiches. We're going to do a grilled Italian sausage with marinara. We've got sweet peppers we're going to cook and some of our homemade giardiniera. And then while we're at it, I just happened to be making some meatballs when I was making the marinara sauce. So we'll do a meatball sandwich as well so you can kind of get a flavor for that. The meatballs we made ahead, we'll get you the recipe for those. If you're interested in seeing how we make them, it's really simple. Let us know, leave us a comment in the bottom, and we'll do a meatball recipe. But before that, we're going to get started. We're just going to go ahead and make the sauce for the peppers. All it is 2/3 of a cup of vegetable oil, a cup and a third of water. I've got a tablespoon each of garlic, salt, oregano, basil. That's it. It's pretty darn simple. Just mix it all up. All right. And then we've already got cut up some peppers. I had a few of different colored peppers in here. So we've got some red, some yellow, and some orange. Green works well. The red ones tend to be a little sweeter, but I thought the nice colors would be really nice and it would be a nice presentation on the sandwich. So all you do is once you get this all mixed up, is just pour it over the top. Scrape out what's left there. And then we're just going to cover it with some foil. And we're going to put it in the oven, which I've already got preheating at 350. We're going to go for about 15-20 minutes. We'll give it a look. We're going to check them for doneness. What we're looking for is that they're tender, but they're not mushy. So you want to be able to pick them up with a pair of tongs and put them on your sandwich. So we're going to try not to overcook them, but that's it. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven. All right, we're going to come back and check them in about 20 minutes. All right, so the peppers are going. They've been in a few minutes. I've got the grill already preheated. I'm going to go ahead and put the sausages on, get them going. It'll take us, with these, it could take about 10-12 minutes. I got a medium heat. I don't want to burn them. That's the one thing about sausage. You want to kind of do it kind of that low and slow so they get a nice even cook. They don't dry out. You don't get all burned on the outside, but you do want a little bit of char. So I'm going to run these out, toss them on the grill. We'll be back, and we'll check the peppers in a few minutes. You going to go out or are you going to stay there? All right, close your nose in there. Yeah, they're going to be a while. We are just about there. A couple more degrees. Yeah. Another minute or so. We're good. All right, so these guys are about ready to go here. We're going to bring them in. Got some nice color to them. A lot of times you can just check if the juices are clear. That's a good indication, but I tempt them and we're right where we need to be. We'll go ahead and give those peppers a turn and see how they look. All right, so we extended it out. I pulled the foil off a couple times and stirred them. This went about 40 minutes. So you can kind of see the steam coming off now, but let me pull it out so you can get a good look at it. You can see how the spices all kind of cooked in there, and they're firm, but they're soft enough where you can pierce it with a knife, so you know they're going to be easy to chew on your sandwich. So I'm going to grab the sausage and add them to it, and then we'll work on some sandwiches. Yeah. One of the things we did in the restaurants is we would store the sausage in with the peppers while waiting to make the sandwiches. So It kind of adds a little more flavor into your sausage as well. And if you were to have this on a steam table, or in your home, if you had it in a pan with the flame on, you keep that juice nice and hot. The peppers would slowly break down. They get softer and softer, but while they did that, they keep absorbing more and more of that juice. And that was always nice because the more they broke down, the softer they got, the more spices that that would go inside and change that flavor. Those soft ones made a great sandwich all by itself. My family loves to do that. They take the soft ones, just mash them on the bread with a little of this juice in here. Makes a great sandwich. So again, once if you've had them around for a while, you don't necessarily have to throw them away. The flavor changes a little bit, the profile is different, but they're equally as good for just a pepper sandwich if you want to do something like that. Or you want to scramble some eggs and add it to it, that's outstanding too. So let me get some bread out, we'll get it cut, and we'll start putting together some sandwiches. All right, so I got this nice freshly baked loaf of French bread this morning. Normally there's like a soft side, which is considered the hinge side, and then there's the hard side. This one doesn't have a really pronounced hinge, but you can just see it a little bit along here. Normally that's the part that butts up against the loaf that it's baking next to. And what you want to do is you want to leave that side. You want to make your cut on the side that's not hinged. That way, when you open it, it tends to stay together better. So when you do that, so you can take a little knife. You can use a box cutter if you have that you're not cutting boxes with, but just need the tip of the knife to go in. So you just start at the end. You want to kind of go down the middle. Just drag it. All the way around the edges. And that's it. Most of the times people don't like the ends. I love the ends, but since we've got marinara sauce, I'm going to cut the end because I'm going to use it later just to dip in and eat. I'm going to cut that off. That'll be my snack later. We're going to make roughly 6-inch sandwiches out of these. I'm just going to make a couple and make one meatball, one Italian sausage for now. One of the things that makes the sandwich a little better is if you crisp it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, because I didn't measure very well, I'm just going to toss them back in the oven. The heat's on, it's still warm. I'm just going to kick the oven back on a little bit, just to give it a little more heat. You let them sit in there for about 2 to 3 minutes, just so they toast up a little bit. The bread on a traditional sandwich, when you get Italian beef or Italian sausage, some of the places you'll go, they'll just leave it nice and soft, and it's just a little too chewy. If you toast them a little bit, it gets a nice little crisp, nice little bite. It's a little bit easier sandwich to eat. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to give it a minute in there, let it come out, and then we're going to go ahead and we'll build. Those are nice, got a little bit of a crispness to them. Not crispness, crispness. And we're going to use the one that I cut a little longer for the sausage. So we're going to go ahead and grab one of these guys out. All right, nice and easy there. We're going to add a little bit of the marinara down the side. Oh, and I forgot an important ingredient. See, just when I thought I was prepared. Hold on one second. Got a little bit of mozzarella. I'm going to sprinkle that. So a lot of places will take this and put it back in the oven, and they'll melt that. I feel it dries it out too much. So what I do is you got your little bit of mozzarella there, a little bit more. Just take a little bit more sauce, put it over the top, and the heat from that sauce will help melt the cheese. There you go. All right. Then a little bit of Eepa's homemade Giardiniera right over the top, because you can't have an Italian sausage without Giardiniera. And then we'll put a couple of peppers on there. The red one, yellow one. There we go. Set that up there for now. Then the obvious next step would be wrap them in paper, but I think we're going to skip that today. All right, so then we're going to make a meatball sandwich. So the meatballs are pretty easy. It was just 85 15 ground beef. It's 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs, an egg. There's your binder. Put a little, like a tablespoon of dried parsley and some just ground black pepper, about a teaspoon. Mix it all together. Make your meatballs. Brown it in a pan. I've got a nonstick pan that I use. Put about 2 tablespoons of water in the bottom, just helps it a little bit. Brown them, just kind of roll them around there, get them browned on all the edges. And then once they're brown, just put them in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes to a half hour, because you want to get those cooked all the way through, because we've talked about this before. Ground beef has to be cooked to 165 for you to be safe. So it generally takes about 20 to 30 minutes, but you want to temp them to be safe. All right. With that, we'll do the same thing. Get a little bit of this. A little bit of this. And maybe I'll wrap them so we can cut them. Give me a minute. Look just like the beef house does. Your local hot dog stand. One thing about the meatballs is those meatballs are a little hard to get your whole mouth around. You can cut them in half first and put them on and line them that way. I've done that in the past too. Makes it a little easier to eat. See how beautiful they look inside. Oh, isn't that a little delightful? Look at that. Very pretty. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, there you go right there. Check that out. That sausage looks nice too. All right, and there they are. Be nicer if we had some nicer wrap, but there you go. Can't have everything, right? So pretty simple today. Peppers took about 40 minutes in the oven. The marinara, which you guys hopefully watched the recipe before, but that's an all-day thing. You just put it on while you're doing other stuff. You don't have to sit and watch it, get it going, start once in a while. You want to see how that's done, watch the video that we did earlier. Meatballs, like I told you, start to finish, 45 minutes. Prep time, everything. If you want to see the video, I don't know how many of you guys really need to see how to make meatballs, but if you want to see it, put a little note in the bottom and we'll work on a video for that. That was, I mean, really, what else was there? That was it. Giardiniera we made last summer. We're going to do that again this summer, so you get a chance to see that. So on that note, we're going to have a snack. We want you to, again, do what we always ask. Please give us a like, subscribe, share, let us know what you think. Cook a little bit, make some food for yourselves, and throw it back at us and let us know what you did, okay? So for me and Derek, we're going to take some snacks. You don't get to see, because it's going to make a mess, and I don't want it all over my white jacket. And really, that's the big thing. I don't want to make a mess on my white jacket, because then somebody's got to clean it, and that's not me. So you guys have a good one. We'll see you in about a week. Thanks.